Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here. Today I have for you, on Halloween, my brother's Ghostrick deck. Now, the Wi-Fi here is a little iffy right now, so I might not post it tonight. Probably post it in the morning. But, yeah, my brother didn't really want to come on camera, so I'm going to be doing his profile for him. So, here we go. Got 2 Ghostrick Mary. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When you take battle damage, or when you take damage, you can discard this card, special summon 1 Ghostrick monster from your deck in face down defense position. You can only use this effect of Ghostrick Mary once per turn. Got 3 Ghostrick Lantern. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, or when a Ghostrick monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position. Two Ghostrick Jack Frost. You cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can change that opponent's monster to face down defense position, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position. Last year level 1s is Ghostrick Spectre. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. While a Ghostrick monster is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or by battle with their attacking monster and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position, and if you do, draw 1 card. Got 2 Ghostrick Doll. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up during the end phase, change as many face up monsters on the field as possible to face down defense position. This card can then you can special summon 1 Ghostrick monster from your deck in face down defense position whose level is less than or equal to the number of monsters flipped face down by this effect. One Ghostrick Nekomutsume. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When a level 4 or higher monster is normal summoned or special summoned, change that monster to face down defense position. There must be another Ghostrick monster on the field to activate and resolve this effect. 1 Ghostrick Yuko-One. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can change the monster that destroyed it into face down defense position, and if you do, it cannot change its battle position. Got 2 Ghostrick Skeleton. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, it can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up, banish cards on top of your opponent's deck face down up to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. You can only use this effect of Ghostrick Skeleton once per turn. Got 3 Ghostrick Jingshi. Cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is flipped face up, you can add 1 monster from your deck to your hand. 1 Ghostrick monster, the level is less than or equal to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. You can only use the effect of Ghostrick Jingshi once per turn. And that's it for the Ghostricks. Now you've got 1 Penguin Soldier. Flip effect, you can return up to 2 monsters from your field to the owner's hand. 1 Tour Guide from the Underworld. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 3 Fiend type monster from your hand or deck. Its effects are negated and it cannot be used as synchro material. 1 Edgemp Sabers. If this card is in the graveyard, you can place 1 card from your hand to the top of the deck. Special summon this card in defense position. You can only use the effect of Edgemp Sabers once per turn. Lastly, 1 Pot of the Forbidden. Flip, target, and you can activate one of these effects. Draw 2 cards, return all spells and traps on the field to the hand, destroy all monsters on your opponent controls, or look at your opponent's hand and shuffle one of them from the hand to the deck. You can only activate the effect of Pot of the Forbidden once per turn. Next for the spells, we have 2 Ghostrick Mansion. Monsters cannot attack face down defense position, but can attack directly if all their opponent's monsters are face down defense position. All effect damage and battle damage inflicted by monsters other than Ghostrick is halved. 1 Book of Moon. Target a face-up monster on the field. Change it to the target to face down defense position. 2 Swords of Concealing Light. When this card resolves, all monsters your opponent controlled when this card was activated are changed to face down defense position. Monsters your opponent control cannot change their battle position. Destroy this card during your second standby phase after activation. 1 Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, then remove from play 1 dark monster from your hand. You can, if you do not have any dark monsters in your hand, send all cards from your hand to the graveyard. Lastly, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. Target 1 spell or trap on the field and destroy that target. Now for your traps, you've got 2 Ghostrick Scare. Target any number of face down defense position monsters you control, change them to face up attack position. Face up defense position, my bad. Count the number of Ghostrick monsters among them, and if you do, change up to that many face up monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. Minimum 1. Got 2 Ghostrick Knight. While a Ghostrick monster is on the field, your opponent cannot flip summon when this card is in your possession, is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard. Your opponent cannot just declare attacks for the rest of the turn. One Ghostrick Vanish. Reveal 1 Ghostrick monster in your hand. This turn, Ghostrick cards you control and face down defense position monsters you control cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. 1 Ghostrick Go Around. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can activate one of these effects. Target 1 Ghostrick monster you control, change that target to face down defense position, and if you do, change 1 face down defense position monster your opponent controls to face up attack position. Or, target 1 face down defense position monster you control, change that target to face up attack position, and if it is a Ghostrick monster, change 1 face up monster your opponent controls into face down defense position. 1 Ghostrick Break. When exactly 1 face-up Ghostrick monster you control and no other cards is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, target 2 Ghostrick monsters in your graveyard with different names from the destroyed monster. Special summon them to face down defense position. Have 1 Fiendish Chain. Activate this card by targeting 1 effect monster on the field. Its effects are negated. Also, they cannot attack. When this card is destroyed, destroy that card. 1 Waboku. You take no battle damage from your opponent's monsters this turn. Your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Lastly, for the traps, 1 Torrential Tribute. Activate only when a monster is summoned. Destroy all monsters on the field. Now for the extra deck, we've got 3 Ghostrick Dualahan. Requires 2 level 1 monsters. This card gains 200 attack for each Ghostrick card you control. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. Its attack is halved until the end of the phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other Ghostrick monster in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. One Slacker Magician. Requires 2 level 1 monsters. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Now, I was told you can switch this card out for Wee Witch, the Link monster, but this is what it's in here for now. So it's number 39, Utopia Roots. Requires 2 level 1 monsters. When any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the attack, and if you do negate an Xyz monster's attack, this card gains attack equal to that monster's rank times 500. 1 Ghostrick Succubus. Requires 2 level 2 monsters. While you control another Ghostrick monster, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field with attack less than or equal to the combined attack of all Ghostrick monsters on the field. Destroy it, and if you do, that monster's monster card zone cannot be used as long as you control a Ghostrick monster. You have 3 Ghostrick Alucard. Requires 2 level 3 monsters. Your opponent cannot target other Ghostrick monsters or any face-down defense position monsters for attacks. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target any 1 set card your opponent controls, destroy that target. You can only use the effect of Ghostrick Alucard once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other Ghostrick card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. That's it for the Ghostricks. We got 1. I was wrong, not it for the Ghostricks. Anyway, you got 1 number 47 Nightmare Shark. Requires 2 level 3 monsters. When this card is special summoned, you can attach 1 level 3 water monster from your hand or your side of the field to this card as an Xyz material once per turn. You can attach 1 Xyz material from this. Detach 1 Xyz material from this card. Target 1 water monster you control. Discard 1 water monster you control. Discard that monster. This turn, that monster can attack your opponent directly. Also, other monsters cannot attack. I struggled there. 1 Wind Up Zen Maze, 2 level 3 monsters. If this the face-up card on the field would be destroyed, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card instead. Once per turn during the end phase, if this effect was used this turn, target 1 card on the field, destroy it. We've got 3 Ghostrick Angel of Mischief. Requires 2 level 4 monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card by using a Ghostrick Xyz monster you control as Xyz material, except Ghostrick Angel of Mischief. Xyz material attached to that monster also becomes Xyz material to this card. When the number of Xyz materials on this card becomes 10, you win the duel. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, add one Ghostrick spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can attach one Ghostrick card from your hand to this card as an Xyz material. And lastly, you have one number FO Utopic Future. 2 Xyz monsters with the same rank except number monsters. This card's original rank is always treated as 1, cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can take control of that opponent's monster until the end of the battle phase. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed by a card effect, you can detach one material from this card instead. Alright guys, that is the deck profile. That is my brother's Ghostrick deck. So, again, my brother's decks are not budget friendly, but mine are. I have 100 plus budget friendly decks, so please make sure to like and subscribe for more fun content. Make sure to have fun. Yeah, please like and subscribe.